Artists and musicians, stop trying to get famous and just write better songs. Getting famous, more royalties, radio play, merch sales, going on tour, whatever it is, that is the result of you having a hit song. That will come after. Because if you really have a hit song, then all this marketing stuff just becomes way easier because you have a hit song. All of a sudden, you'll start getting more likes, more shares, more comments. Influencers just wanting to use the song because it's dope. When we had a hit song going to radio, people were adding it more. We weren't having to like beg, oh, please play this song, please add it. They're like, no, this song is just catching fire. And I'm sure you've seen it where some of your songs that you release just get more streams, just get more organic growth, right? And so we want to focus on those winners and focus on that. Sometimes we're trying to take this product that doesn't taste very good. Like imagine it's like a brownie or a cookie or just, look at Chick-fil-A or something like that. It's easy to sell a Chick-fil-A sandwich because it's so good, right? But if you have a song that's just really not that great and you're trying to shove it down everybody's throat, so to speak, you're not getting the result. But if it's really good and a hit, it just becomes so much easier, right? And so the best advice I can give you is start to work with better songwriters. Like if you haven't written a hit and really crushed it, blown it out of the park, work with better songwriters and better producers than you. And stop trying to do it all yourself. Stop trying to write it all yourself, mix it yourself, master yourself, do the artwork yourself, because your mix probably isn't that great. And if you're a newer artist, guess what? You haven't written your best song yet. I'm sure you've got amazing ideas, but I've found when I work with producers that challenge my ideas, because I'm normally so close to the song that I'm not hearing it, and they come up with a better melody, or why don't you fix this lyric, it'll make the song more clear, and then it just punches through. And I'm like looking at the song to where it was, to where it is now, and it's like, oh my gosh. So what do? Well, start with your friends, start with your circle, right? And reach out to them and see if they'll collaborate with you and help make your song better. And then ask them for introductions. Do you know anybody that could like make this song better? What vocalist could I get on this? Like recently I was working with a friend, a producer, and we're working over Zoom, and we're like, who should we get to sing on this, to rock on this? So we contacted somebody else. And we had a 3-way Zoom, and he loved the chorus, but he made one little change that made it so much better on the chorus. Then he helped fix the bridge, and then he was the one who actually ended up singing the chorus. My buddy wrote it, but we had him do those little tweaks, and it made the song so much better. And so we're happy to share in the pie of the song. So we're doing a 3-way split. We're splitting the publishing 3 ways, we're splitting the master 3 ways, and everybody wins. But what's really cool is all 3 of us are going to be marketing it and promoting it. And I get to tap into their marketing machine. I get to tap into their melody machine and their ideas and their creativity. And we get such a better product. And now it's going to be so much easier to promote and market this thing. One of the biggest things that I'm still learning is to have more melodies, have more peaks and valleys in my songs. You see, one of the biggest mistakes I see normally with new artists and their songs is the song is just the same all the way through. The song starts, sure, there might be a little intro, and then the verse starts, but honestly, I don't really know where the verse ends and when the chorus starts. And then if the chorus started, I don't know when it went into the second verse. There's no peaks and valleys. There's no changes. The chorus doesn't like punch in. You have a certain melody or a certain chord progression in the verse, well, then the chorus should have a nice lift. There should be these dynamics. But in a lot of artist songs, the biggest mistakes, it's just like, it's the same thing, man. There ain't no changes. And sometimes we'll have melody changes twice or 3 times just in the verse. Definitely normally what happens is in the verse you have a certain melody for maybe 4 or 8 bars, then it changes, and then normally you have one more little change to set up the chorus. And that's the pre-chorus, right? Because you want your song to be dynamic. So I really want to challenge you to write better songs that will do more for you long term than just having a little spike because you're trying to make all this viral video content. And I get that. You want to do that. You want to make cool content and blow up a song. That can happen. But for the long term, a good song will give you streams for decades. Like we have songs that are 15 plus years old that are still crushing it. And why? Not because they had a viral video or viral content around it, but because it was a good song. And sure, we marketed and promoted it, but the point is you want to have longevity in your career. You want to have something that can sustain you for life, right? And so that you can retire on maybe one day. And so that comes to having a good foundation of hit songs, because you can have a little viral spike moment and that pushes the song. Well, where is it now? And what's interesting is we had a song, it's called Avalanche, and it's a great song. It's a hit song. But what's interesting is we blew that song up on radio, and it crushed it, and we toured it. But for whatever reason, it's not one of like my hugest hits right now. It doesn't have that staying power. And so that makes me wonder, did radio just drive those streams, or did something else drive it? Because I have another song called No Plan B, and we never really went to radio on that song, and it's still my number 2 most popular song. And so, and then again, that's like 14 years old, and it's still crushing it. And Avalanche was 14 years old as well too. But the one, and they're both, I think, really good songs, both written well, whatnot. But the point is that sure, radio and whatnot drove that other song, and it, I think, did even more sales originally. But now the other song has picked up, and sometimes, even other people might catch on to it. Like in a different country, we have another song called Edge of My Life. And for whatever reason, after, again, that came out 10 years ago. The other ones were 14. But now all of a sudden, like all these TikToks, all these YouTube shorts are blowing up that song on its own. So you never know who's going to hear it and blow it up. But at the end of the day, you want to make a song that is so good that other people would want to use it in their shorts, would want to play it on radio, would want to just rock it and play it because it's a good song. Then that makes all the marketing and all the other stuff just so much easier. But what I found is you got to step out in faith on those ideas. You got to step out in doubt, even when you're not believing it. I heard my pastor say this the other day, like it's easy to step out in faith when you think it's going to work or you hope it's going to work. But what when you're unsure? What about when you have that fear? What if you have all that doubt in those ideas and you're not sure? Well, you still got to step out and you got to put that art into the world. You got to step out in fear and do it afraid when you're DMing someone. And that's what I hope you'll do before the end of this video or after this video. You'll DM and you'll reach out to a new producer. You'll reach out to a new songwriter. Because sometimes we have these doubts. We have these fears. We have these insecurities about our art being judged, right? But you got to step out and do it anyways. Because I heard it say that, you miss every shot you don't take. And sometimes the songs we think that are going to blow up aren't the ones that end up blowing up. This is a constant story you hear all the time. It's like, wow, we didn't think it was going to be this song, but it freaking just took off, right? And sometimes we're waiting for someone or something to come into our life. It's to fix all our problems. Oh, if I only had this label, or I had this person, or had this money. And what I heard my pastor say the other day, we don't need an external upgrade into our life, but we need an internal commitment to commit to this dream, to commit to this calling, to commit to music and stay the course. This is not an easy music career, right? It's not an easy thing, or else everybody would do it, but it's so worth it. And when you have that commitment and you have that why and the reason that drives you because you love songwriting. Like for me, it's like puzzle pieces. Like I love figuring it out, and I get so excited. Like when we got this new mix on this song the other day, I was like, I love my life again. You know what I mean? Because I just love that feeling of hearing a new song and the melodies and it just coming together. It's just a beautiful thing to me. It never gets old, even though we've done it hundreds of times. So when you tap into your why and the impact that you can make, that will allow you to figure out anyhow. Okay, we do have a songwriting book on how to write and release your first song, or if you've written hundreds of songs. I've read lots of books on songwriting, and I'm still always trying to learn. Here's another one that you can read. Check it out. I'll put the link below. But just take action on this stuff, and don't beat yourself up so much. Like, enjoy the process. Enjoy the journey, because we never arrive. Like you get one hit song and you're stoked for the moment, and then you're like, okay, you're chasing after another hit, trying to write another song, right? And another radio hit, or more sales, or more streams. But if you can enjoy the journey, because we'll never fully be satisfied here, because earth isn't our home. Heaven is our home. That's what I believe, and that's why we'll never be fully satisfied. That's why these rock stars, pop stars, famous, money, whatever, they're going to see therapy and stuff, because it's not ever going to fully make you fulfilled, because heaven is our home. And that's because I'm a faith believer. I believe in Jesus, right? But you can be content, is what I'm trying to say, on this journey that you're on. You can choose to be content. You can choose to be happy, or you can choose to be miserable and always be stressing and frustrated and comparing, or you can enjoy this journey and have fun with it. Which one are you going to choose?